Greetings, Habari. Welcome to Kiy NY007. This is about the latest with Quindarius Zachary and Sean P. Diddy Puffy Combs. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. They done got Diddy, y'all. They done got Diddy. This was us. You see, rest in peace to Craig Mack. 1,000 degrees. You be on your knees and no, you'll be begging, please. You talking about? They done got him, y'all. Some of y'all happy and laughing. I don't like that. What are we doing? What are we gonna do, y'all? Let's get into it. Got some documents to go over, and we got to get into it. Ooh. So we got two of them. We got a double dose. We got like I said, we have the YSL arrest from last Friday, which was September 13th. I was out and about, had to take care of the passing of a dear loved one. And it's a lot. To the left is Sean Combs. Let's just do his name properly, and then I'll do the Diddy and all that at some point if necessary. I'm going to do a quick mic check, too, for myself, and then we're going to get right into it. Appreciate y'all new people and people returning. I think the like button works. I'm not even sure these days, but we're going to get right into it. And I hope all is well with everyone. And we'll start off the most recent, which is with Sean Combs. He has been one of the biggest moguls to come out of New York, like many great artists. He was a producer. He actually did some rapping himself also. A lot of us know Diddy or Puffy through his work with Biggie Smalls, all the way to Danny Kane. So a lot of things have been taking place in the media with his case on so the lawsuits that have been coming against him, and most recently things like that. So I want to look into some of that right now. Just trying to get my background straightened out here too. And there's also some footage that I will share. Now, the cameras are not allowed inside of the place, but what we're going to do is look at some of the people that are already camping outside, because who knows, they may have something going on for us to see, so we'll see what happens from there. I'll put that in the background. And I need to make sure that you guys can still hear me and see the screen the way you need to see it. Okay, there we are. Let me do one last mic check. Okay, so as everything's buzzing about it, like I said, Diddy was just arrested last night, which was Monday, September 16th. I woke up for a little while in the middle of the night, and that's when I first got the news on that. Hang on a second, I just lost my. I was trying to get something typed in and out. All right, so we're going to get right into that too. First off with the YSL, or should we do the Diddy first and then move into the YSL? If anyone's ready to get chatty in the chat, let me know. We got some extra information on both. Oh my gosh. I'm feeling some kind of way. I don't know. I don't like this. I don't like it. I just want the truth to come out. That's all I want. It's not about how much Diddy made me dance and made us dance. I really, really enjoy what he brought to all people around the world. At the same time, there are people that have issues, with being abusive and things like that. So we really need to get to the bottom of it. I just don't want lies infiltrated in these cases. So I put a question in the chat. Do you feel that these cases are fair? Do you feel they should move forward? Go ahead and lock both of these guys up. They're two separate things, but it's two different trials that's going on. With the YSL trial, as we know, we have that with the let me go ahead and put some of that up. Actually, hold on. I'm going to switch up for a second. And we're going to talk some things about Diddy, and then we'll go into the YSL trial. But we can actually see the ongoing YSL trial, too, in between my commentary. So we'll do that just a moment. Where is it? Oh, all right, hang on. What I wanted to do was go back a bit on this one. With this was actually with Diddy. This surprised me because I didn't remember him having a fight, but he was arrested back in 2015. That was his most recent arrest that's been documented. So this was back in June 23rd of 2015. Sean Combs was arrested Monday after getting into a fight with a football coach at UCLA, where his son, Justin Combs, plays as a defensive back on the team. So this is where he had a confrontation, he actually had a fight. That has been increasing too around America, where parents are getting so involved in the sports that they're fighting. We heard about that in recent years. I don't think that much attention was brought to Diddy and what he did. And they're still using the same old mugshot, because that's what I have and that's what I found when I looked up the case. So just to give a little bit of background on some of his other cases. And we're going to go into another part here where there's other information that I'm going to pull up right now. Here we go. All right, so as you see here on your screen, or you will be in a moment. Got it? So this was just from yesterday, September 16th. So there was a request for issuance of summons as Sean Combs, Harve Pierre, remote. So they go on and on naming different companies that are under Sean Combs' name. So they have Bad Boy Productions, which a lot of us are mostly familiar with. They also have the Sean Combs Music. They have Janice Combs Publishing, on and on. Janice Combs is P. Diddy's mother. She is still living, but she hasn't been doing too well. And of course, that's understandable, because it seems like, there's been so much going on with Diddy that, there's those of us that feel that has been playing a role in her health. So just as recent as July 11th of this year, 2024, Sean Combs' mom has been hospitalized. And this is reported by Today.
A federal criminal investigation.
Greetings, everyone. Feel free to join in the chat. Let me know what your thoughts are on the Diddy arrest. Are you all for it? Do you feel it's about time they should have been did this? Or do you feel that it's a bunch of liars running around? Either way, I just want justice to be served. And I just want us to have the right information. Because to be honest, we don't deserve or need much of lies coming through. People, oh, me. He was trying to holler at me too. Oh, he touched me on my butt. Oh, you know what I mean? I believe we as a people really have to come to grips with the fact that some people like to drink and drug and have a party. They don't really like the after effect feeling, knowing they did what they did consensually, but then they want to use it as a money grab. That's what I see some of these people that are coming against Diddy. That's what I believe. That's how I see it. You're free to share your thoughts in the chat. I'm going to now show, again, the most recent court papers that was delivered to Diddy. All right, so as you should be able to see on your screen, this is the paperwork that was, as you can see too, it's date stamped for Monday, which was just yesterday. So we got September 16th, 2024. So Diddy was summoned. When he was summoned, they had a date. This was the final date, was yesterday, which is the reason he was arrested. There's people saying, oh, he must have got caught running. Oh, Diddy must have been on the move, y'all. So that's why they came and grabbed him. No, you come on my channel. I'm going to show you in writing what's going on. I'm going to tell you what I learned by studying law, and we can share our ideas. Because for us to kind of problem solve some things on our own, we need to congregate. We can congregate right here on youtube.com. You can congregate in the chat. No one's going to be at your head. It's free thinking here. I do have my points of views, and I just invite y'all to share yours. That's what helps. It helps if you subscribe. I've gotten a lot of new subscribers, and I appreciate it. The like button, sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. But, I still say, hey, if you don't mind, if you're enjoying any of this and you appreciate the information, it's different here. Please hit the like button. Please come back and give my channel a chance. If you're not sure how you're feeling about it, just come back again. You'll get something. You'll get something you need. All right. Just check me out sometime. I'll show you. So right here. So let me get in my screen so I can see it bigger. All right. So like I said, this was from September 16, 2024. This is the United States District Court for the Southern District of New York. So he did get arrested at a hotel in New York just yesterday. Now you see here, Dawn. Now Dawn is the one from Danity Kane. She was part of his most recent group of musical artists that he signed to his label. We got to see them behind the scenes. We got to see the progression. We got to see the making of the band before Danity Kane. So now we have a member of Danity Kane, Dawn, and you have her full name here. So let me read it. Dawn Angelique Richard, who is now suing Combs too. And it's interesting that she's suing him right on, like people have noticed, right on the heels of the $100 million lawsuit that was placed by a man named Derek Cardello Smith. So she's coming up saying, hey, I witnessed him beating Cassie, this, that. I want in, I should get some dough too. He was touching on my booty. I was trying to sing, whether I could really sing or not. He was touching on me. Girl, you're gonna have to come with more. But we're gonna look at it. Part of the issue in America is that women have been ignored. Women have been coming saying, hey, stuff has happened. You get judged off your profession. If you're a prostitute, nobody cares that you was misused or abused in the streets. Not enough people care. It goes like that with a lot of women. They've dealt with it. So now we have an influx. We have too many women coming forth saying stuff has happened to them, but there's no proof, and they have not really been told to, give too much proof. Now you're told to believe all women. I don't believe all of anybody. You have to show me. And that's why people are innocent until proven guilty. At least that's how it's supposed to be. And we call that the due process in America. Now I'm going to scroll down on this document that's in here. Now this was literally just posted. So I don't think too many people may have this, but we'll see. But anyway, we're doing mine right now. So summons in a civil case. We got Dawn versus Sean Combs. A lawsuit has been filed against you within 21 days after service of the summons on you, not counting the day you receive it, or 60 days if you are the United States agency or an officer or employee of the U.S. Described by the federal. To answer the attached complaint or motion under Rule 12 of Federal Rules of Civil Procedure. The answer or motion must be served on the plaintiff or plaintiff's attorney whose name and address are here. So now we see once again Lisa Bloom. Do y'all remember Lisa Bloom? Y'all know who Lisa Bloom is? Because of course she wants to help Dawn. Let's pull up who Lisa Bloom is for those that don't know. Well, first off, let me go to Danity Kane. Danity Kane, and we see here Dawn Richards accusing Diddy of sexual abuse during making the band reality show. Okay, so she's here photographed. She's here photographed here. She's one of the more melanated sisters that was in the group. Okay, because he had like white, I think he had Hispanic, he had black. So it was a nice diverse group. They didn't really make too much headway. Like I didn't really hear much about Danity Kane. Now I don't know about y'all, but if you down with Diddy, you should be having some hits. We should still be hearing from you, you know, just to keep it going. Maybe not now, but more than what they put out. So now we hear that Dawn wants to sue Diddy, right? Now, also, I don't know if y'all knew, but Dawn has a record coming out. She is releasing music like as we speak. So it's questionable at the timing of it all. We have homeboy sitting in jail, Derek Cardello Smith. He's in jail because he likes to kidnap and sexually abuse people. He's been convicted. This isn't no allegation. He's been convicted. While he's sitting there, he's learning the law. And he said, I don't want to just sit here and rot on his fat butt. So what he's doing is he put the chunky monkey aside and said, I want to sue Diddy. So that's what he's been doing right during this time. And as soon as we started hearing more about the lawsuit that he won, that's when Dawn came out with her allegations. So this is her. So I want to just show this. And then we're going to get into the file court paper that was supposed to be served to Sean Combs, just like Derek Cardello Smith paperwork was supposed to be given to Sean Diddy Combs. But Sean Diddy Combs' lawyer is saying we did not receive this. You cannot proceed with the suit of $100 million because we didn't get any paperwork. So y'all know too, people can't just sue you and say, hey, I told you I was suing you. No, you have to make sure that person is aware and you have to have it documented. There is no documentation backing that he was served on either of these. So I'm going to go right back into it again in the larger print as soon as I can. I have a lot of tabs open on here. So this is the summons in the civil action suit that's filed against Diddy by Dawn, his former member of Danity Kane. So now, if I'm not mistaken, she's going solo, but she does have her new music coming out now. So I want to know how y'all feel about the timing of all of this. You know, does it not matter to you? You know, do you feel that we should keep in place the statute of limitations? Because with that, a certain amount of years goes by, you can't bring up stuff that's old that you're claiming has been done to you. That's how that goes. So as you see here in the paperwork, Lisa Bloom is in here. She loves to protect women that have sexual allegations to bring forth against celebrities. I appreciate people that do the work they're supposed to do because they're attorneys. I do not appreciate people that just jump in cases because they are making headway. Same with Benjamin Crump. That's why I have a cold shoulder towards Benjamin Crump, because these people see money and that's when they're so interested in their case. They're not interested unless money's attached or they get to be on camera. And I've had it. I've never seen so many whores get a defense attorney like Lisa Bloom. She will take a prostitute off the street or a stripper and believe anything they say when their job is to get paid to physically please their Patreons. So that's why that gets messy. Now, with this case here, she's a singer. She's saying, hey, the producer, one of the main producer, Sean Combs, he was touching her, whatever she was, stuff like that she was saying. So I think more details should be coming out soon. So some of this is limited, but I will show you the latest. And that's what you have right here in front of you. And I'm going to scroll down. Now the form is going to be blank because that's what they're, matter of fact, hold on, let's look at Lisa Bloom. So this is Lisa Bloom. She is an American lawyer. I don't know why they have these old pictures up. She don't look like that. This is her here. She's 62 years old, born in Pennsylvania, Philly, Pennsylvania. Lisa Bloom is a lawyer who fights for justice for victims of discrimination, sexual abuse, and animal rights. Let's go. Okay, she's the daughter of Gloria Allred, the author of books on gender and race issues. I've never heard of her dealing with anything that had to do with race. I just see her particularly backing Black women that are coming against Black men. That's what I see. And I got 4 eyes. I see it all. That's what I see. Have y'all heard of her doing anything with a case about race? Or maybe it was just not having to do with celebrities. See, the celebrity status and the money status, that's when it gets our attention. Other things get my attention, though, because it still matters. So this is Lisa Bloom. I just wanted to show her off a bit for those that, let me see, click on her image to make sure you're familiar, okay? Oh, this is something saying that she was offered money to go against Trump. That's interesting. But that's a whole different topic. That's not what we're doing right now. So that's interesting, though. Feel free to share your thoughts. Hit the like button. You're enjoying the information and the depth of detail that I'm supplying. Consider subscribing. I appreciate all participation. I just don't need disrespect and stuff like that. That's corny. We're all adults. So, I expect trolling, but I expect more elevated minds to come on in here because that's what I'm looking for. So we can really have a meeting of the minds. It's not an echo chamber. I want to know your thoughts on this. This is serious. So let's get into some more of the paperwork. That's Lisa Bloom. So as you see here, and her website. This must be her website right here. Let me see if I can Lisa at all right. So this is where you want to the clerk or deputy clerk will sign and date this. So this is the paperwork that goes past the clerk of court. And all of this is to be passed on to Sean Combs, the person that is being prosecuted. Here is the second page. So there's 4 pages to what was supposed to be served to Sean Combs. So you see here the date is just as of yesterday, and they just put this online for us to see if you have access. So civil action number, there's a number right there. So if you guys want to look it up on your own, this is the case number to type in. Proof of service. This section should not be filed with the court unless required by Fed. So this is the summons, and you put the name of the individual, which will be Sean Combs. Here is to check off the person that actually served Combs. Now, all of this is blank. All of it's blank. We need the server signature and printed and their title and the server's address. Page 3. Also dated from yesterday. Rider to summons. Additional defendants to civil action number 1. So you see the number there, right? So we have Harve Pierre. So this is the attorney here, his attorney. Remote productions, new remote production. So we don't have to read all of it. You guys can see, right? Daddy's house recording studio. A lot of people are not going to want to say, oh, I'm going to Daddy's house. Yeah, I'm going to go over to Daddy's house recording studio. So yes, Sean Combs did have a big ego. He liked being called Diddy, Daddy, Puffy and stuff. But I don't think that title there would fly with a lot of people. I don't know about y'all. Now, Bad Boy Entertainment LLC, Bad Boy Records. That's what we used to hear the most, right? So those are some of the ones from his earliest name of his some of his production studios and his licensing company itself. We have the Sean Combs. It should be Sean Combs. Why does it say Sean Combs? Y'all see that? Why would it say that? because he has an S at the end of his name. I wonder why he named this, or it could have been a typo. It probably was. I'm good with noticing typos on anything. It says it's Sean Combs music, but it would be Sean Combs. I'm very anal with lettering and words, so that's yeah, okay. So I see someone in the chat is saying it's about time that deserves. Y'all are ruthless. So I'm gonna scroll down some more too in just a second here. So wait, is this the end of this page? Yeah, that's the end of this page. So there's one more page, and I'm gonna show that in a moment. I'll put this second. Whew. Okay. I'm gonna show y'all something. Just do a little review on something. Now, Quincy, for those that don't know, Quincy's father is really Albie Shore. Albie Shore was a really good R&B artist back in the early 90s. And he had his son first with Kim Porter. She's a late Kim Porter. She passed away a couple years back. So he helped raise this young man, this boy, into a young man. He was there more than Albie Shore. It's been said that Albie Shore wasn't in his life, not much. He did suffer a coma in recent years, Albie Shore. And it looked like he was trying to develop a little more of a connection with his son. So I'm just going to play that, but I just wanted to chime in. So again, to some of this, I don't own the copyrights to. I am using them as commentary. So that's my little quick disclaimer, whether it really matters or not. And I do feel that daughters, they do teach a man a lot, and that's interesting to hear him say, especially during this time, because it's mainly females that are saying that he misused them when he was around them. But there's also a couple of men that came forth. There was the other man, Rel, I believe. He lost that case. I knew he was lying from the start. I don't know about y'all. You have to be proven guilty. Until then, you're innocent. Now we have the man, Derek Cardello Smith, that's been coming against Diddy. So I'm going to show him too, just so y'all know exactly who I'm talking about. He's an inmate himself. He's a jailbird. So it's like we got dirty penises battling with dirty penises. So either y'all had a consensual sword fight, okay, if y'all know what I'm talking about, or maybe you were against your will. But I doubt it. I doubt it. I just want people to be honest with us. And y'all need to demand justice too. Or not demand justice, but just demand the truth. Things when it comes to whether you're going to have your freedom or not is a big deal. That goes beyond entertainment. I think a lot of you feel like everything's entertainment, but it's not. It wouldn't be if it comes to you. So with Diddy, honestly, being growing up in New York, a lot of people loved Diddy. He gets way more love than he's received hate. But over the years, he has received more and more hate. And I honestly felt like you see a black man doing his thing, and he does it superbly to where he kept putting other people on. He would get money, and it looked like he was feeling himself so much that I think that people don't like you enjoying yourself too much. Maybe y'all like people to enjoy themselves, but y'all don't like ego. But newsflash, most men have an ego. That's just how you guys are inclined biologically. You're inclined to be a strong man. You're inclined to have that oomph factor. And why not be proud of your accomplishments? So I never really understood why people hated on Diddy so much, other than the fact that you're just a bunch of haters. Not talking about the abuse, just hating him in general. Why he always got to be in the videos. Every time you turn around, he's spinning around. I always wondered, where are the people at in the videos that actually made the music? In New York, we love to dance. I know y'all dance in other areas around the world, but nobody do it like New York. Let's be honest. Matter of fact, let me put my background up. Nobody do it like we do. Nobody. And it's a different vibe. It's a different feel. And I like that we were able to share so much music from New York to other areas. So I had a certain ideology of idolizing different things of Sean Combs. So when people came and they started coming with allegations, I felt like it was a lot of hate. But when he mentioned stuff with Cassie, I knew some of it had to been true, because I heard that she was something else too. So it was both of them. Men cannot put their hands on women. You're usually most of the time stronger than us. And you know that already. So I want to say too that a lot of men are naturally more physical than women. Men have to stop themselves sometimes from putting their hands on us when we're in heated arguments. I'm not trying to make stuff up because I like Diddy. I'm telling you the truth based on what I learned, and I learned it being in the courts. Judge Maybelline, she used to come on TV. She spoke on it too. When men are upset, she said, let them leave. When they want to leave, let them walk off. This is a situation that we saw with Cassie. I'm just giving this as an example, because we cannot look at celebrities. We cannot just look at other people and say, oh, that's just them. I don't have those kind of problems. Oh, well, if it was me, I would. No. A lot of us have been in abusive situations. We have to know when we have to cool down and get away from each other. And we have to be allowed to do that. No one's relationship is perfect. If you know one, put in the chat so I can research their perfect relationship. No one has one, but we shouldn't put our hands on each other. But also, we shouldn't verbally abuse each other either. A lot of y'all have been and are in a verbally abusive relationship where you talk to each other any kind of way, you use slander, and you use name calling. You already lost a battle with me if you name call. If you lose control, then we can't have a conversation. We have to cool off and then see where things go. Diddy's relationship, the only difference is he's popular celebrity and has money. Other than that, we're all human beings down here experiencing the same things. We have to keep in mind our upbringing, and that shapes our outlook on relationships also. So I just wanted to put that, add that in there. Let me see, are you guys finally talking? Okay. Diddy has never been known to be a child lover, so I don't know where you got that from. But I'm going to stick with the facts here too. You can add your opinions, but when it comes to certain things and you're making allegations that are not true. So yeah, so that was that, because I'm kind of just trying to play both, not just, oh, look what he did, let's watch the Cassie video again. I want to show too how people are like, oh, look at him with his family. You know, this man does have kids. Now, he just mentioned how he felt different when he had daughters. So do y'all feel that that did make a change in his life, or is it just possibly the same old same? Let's go back a bit on that. Is it too late to change, do y'all feel? Not now, huh? This is wild. So yeah. And here is some front row footage to the building. Because again, this is a federal court case. So no cameras are allowed in the courtroom. So this is the closest we can get. It's right here, right outside the door of the court. So we know people are still posted up. They have their mics ready to go because they want to get any information that they can. Because we know that this topic is buzzing. The whole thing with Diddy in general is buzzing, right? So they're still trying to get in as much as they can with this. Yeah, hang on a second. So I'll show you something else. I was really looking for something else that I had saw, and it was, I don't know, it was just decent footage, and I wanted to play it for y'all like I did on similar to the last time I spoke on him, but it was more so about his other accuser. Give me just a moment. So, okay. All right, so like they just said on More America, they said this is sealed indictment, so there's limited information that we can access. But like I showed in the beginning, and then a little further down through this live stream, I showed the paperwork that we are able to access. So I pulled that up. If you go online, you can type in the case. I gave y'all the case number. You can put in his name. You're not going to really be able to see much because you do need to have a paid account or some other way of accessing the information. So that's what I have, and that's what I had displayed on there. So other than that, it's really tough to say what's going on exactly next, and what's going on, minute by minute with the case, because the cameras are just not allowed inside. They're not. All you can see is basically what you see right here on my screen. So there's people outside. They want to get any information they can, is what I was just mentioning to y'all. Now I remember what I was doing. Just give me a quick second here. So it looks like a couple people that did share their thoughts, because I know y'all got thoughts on this. I don't know why y'all be so quiet. Y'all probably sit around talking with people, whether they care your opinion or not, but your opinions are welcome here on what you think of the case. Do you think it took too long to get here, but it's finally happening, or do you not really care, or do you feel that he's getting what he deserves? That's mostly what I'm seeing. Let's see right here too. Bad Boy Records, Diddy. We got Diddy. Yeah, just put Diddy. We got Diddy in there. Let me make sure I got the right category going. At least I'm in the algorithm. Just want to make sure I got it under the right category. News and politics. Yeah, we good. We good. All right. I see y'all still a quiet bunch. All right. Well, like I said, that's going on right now, or shortly. This is the closest you can get to the courtroom. You can't just come in there with your cameras and stuff like they got with the YSL trial. I'm surprised they're still allowing so much with the YSL, but whatever. We're going to get into that too. So as you see, this is a double stream. I did the updates, and I showed y'all what I wanted to show on P. Diddy and his recent arrest just as of yesterday, and the paperwork that we are allowed to see. At the end of the stream, that's when I'll show the very last page of the documents that I do have access to for Diddy Combs. Now, if we want to do a switch, we'll get into what was I saying? What's his name? Quindarius. Man, he's got a name on it. But hang on a second. I got him. Okay, and he's from the YSL trial. So, again, this is the paperwork. Filed yesterday, is dated. Diddy's attorney is saying, you guys can't do this. We were not served anything. You cannot do this. So we have Harve Pierre, which is Sean Combs' attorney. And then we have Lisa Bloom, who is attorney for Dawn Angelique Richard. She is a former member of Danity Kane, as y'all can see there on the screen. Hang on a second, y'all. Let me get this dude's name in here. All right, there he is. What the heck is your name again? I got so many, shoot. Hang on, y'all. It's a lot. It's kind of a lot. And this dude with this long name, I'm getting annoyed. I like names. I'm a person of color. I have a big name myself, but it's just like, come on. I feel like how non-black people be like, come on, what's your name? Why is it so long? What is this? I'm going to shorten it. Nah, leave our names alone. We usually nickname ourselves. So now we're going to switch on over, as y'all can see from my my thumbnail here. Let me remove this. Oops. Hang on a second. I'm getting better, though. I'm getting better with it. My thumbnail, new, breaking last night, was Diddy getting arrested as of last Friday, which was September 13th, 2024. A member of YSL, he was actually a current witness. I told y'all in that last stream that I did on YSL, I said, what happened to that witness? Quindarius Zachary, who they would call D or Little D, stopped coming to court. He didn't want to become a witness anymore. He already is a witness, but he was done. So I don't think he realized just how quick they would arrest him. I don't know what was on his mind or his dome. I don't know what was going on, but they got him Friday and they arrested him. So he's on the right side of the thumbnail. This is him here. This is his mugshot. He looks like a child. He really looks like a kid. It's kind of uncomfortable looking at someone in a mugshot that looks like a kid to me. So this was one of his first arrests. And he was one of the key witnesses to have some sort of involvement and definitely information to possibly share on behalf of the prosecution, the district attorney and all them that are pursuing prosecution against Young Thug, rapper Young Thug, born as Jeffrey. Now they have him in there. So they arrested him, Quindarius Zachary, because he no longer was coming to court. So if you remember, if you were here, my other live stream, I said, I was like, where is he at? Like, where is the other witness at? You know, like, why hasn't he been there? So, oh my bad, here it is. Here it is, my bad, I thought y'all could see it. I was like, what happened to him? So he came to court one day. The next day, the judge said, all right, because they were already starting late. Something keeps happening with the YSL case. It just keeps happening. They're starting late. They always have to stop. But this new judge, she's like, we're going to move this case quicker. It's already been 2 years, and it already seems like it may be a couple more. Again, the prosecution is saying they have over 100 more witnesses to add to this case. So this is a very lengthy case. So He didn't come in the next day. The judge said, I hope he's here or he'll be here shortly because we need to begin. He never showed up. So what happens when you don't show up to court and you were already summoned? You get arrested. He was arrested after leaving the hospital. He has sickle cell anemia, and he also has a GoFundMe, which I'll show y'all. So he, hang on a second. He has an illness. That's why he was, I'm honestly tired of typing his name like repeatedly because it's taking me a while and it's holding me up. Basically, he got sickle cell anemia. All right. And when you have that, you do have to be monitored at times, and sometimes you're hospitalized. Sickle cell anemia is a blood disorder. So that's what he has. And his family is very upset because they're like, hey, he needs help. If anything, we don't want y'all messing with him right now. He needs medical attention, not jail. So that's where the family is standing on things. And I did ask y'all too, how do you feel? Do you feel if someone has such a heavy medical condition, do you feel that they should be excused? Or do you feel like, hey, it depends on how involved he is in this? So he's making this is the GoFundMe right here. And then below is the house that got shot up that I showed y'all, the victim that spoke out at court last, was it Wednesday, I think? And she was in court last week, let's just say. This was the house she was in and got shot up. Here is one of the witnesses, but he's the witness that they were like, hey, you got to get out of here. Get this out of here. Get this out of here. No, I don't agree to nothing. I don't like that. No. I should be able to look without clicking for you to look in my business of what else I'm looking up online. I don't like when websites do that. They tell you click this if you want to see. No, I can look if I want to. Thank you. So anyway, share your thoughts if you want, or y'all could just stay quiet and just suck up the information that I'm sweating putting here, I guess. But I need y'all to participate. So as you see here, this is support for Quindarius Zachary's fight for fair treatment. Now, when you get locked up and you have a medical condition, a lot of correctional facilities don't really have adequate medical care. I even personally know someone that's spending life in jail. He actually got into a shootout with a cop. He got shot up, and so did the cop. The cop lost his life. He's still living to this day. And actually, his name is Kiy. He said that they had interns working on him. So the family is very weary at this point because they're like, dang, he has a serious medical condition. And in the correctional facility, they don't think he's going to make it. So if you've noticed or not, they put in quotes that Quindarius, or little D, Zachary, will not survive in prison. He won't survive because he won't get the adequate medical attention needed. As you see here in the GoFundMe that he has, the goal is $25,000. They've already raised $8,145. This couldn't have been up very long because, again, he was just arrested last Friday. So that was just, a few days ago, about 4 days ago. Last night when I checked on it, it was like a little over 8,000. But now it's like 8,145. So it's moving along. Let's read what they put here. Quindarius Zachary was in prison just minutes after being released from the hospital, despite suffering from sickle cell anemia and recently undergoing 2 blood transfusions. So that's where I got into the conversation with they have to be monitored sometimes because their health goes up and down with sickle cell anemia. Because why? Because it is a blood disorder. You need blood to constantly flow through the body to stay healthy, but you also need healthy blood. You got your white blood cells, your red blood cells. They have to be in working order. Having sickle cell works against that. So blood transfusions are common. The Fulton County District Attorney's Office and police have acted corruptly, falsely claiming to know his whereabouts in order to secure a warrant for his arrest. Now, I do have to say this. They're saying that the DA and police are acting corruptly, falsely claiming to know his whereabouts. One interesting thing when it comes to police are allowed by law to lie. They can't lie in court. So you can tell that the family put this together by the wording, but the wording is incorrect by law. It doesn't matter whether they knew where his whereabouts were or not. I don't know why they put that in there necessarily and what it really has to do with anything other than to help encourage people to feel there's corruption and to join in and help out. It says currently, Quindarius, little D, is held in a regular cell on Rice Street, and his request to be transferred to the medical unit has been denied. If you feel moved to help him and his family obtain legal representation and seek justice, please consider making a donation. And they have more information here, people that have been donating their amounts and things like that. Okay. Well, it's kind of funny to me too. I'm glad people are well. I don't wish nothing bad on anyone. I don't. If I have something to say, I'll say it, and that'll be personally from me. His picture here, if you see the picture here, he still looks so young. It's interesting. It's like, when were these pictures taken? But this picture here looks so much like his mugshot, though, doesn't it? It looks like the same picture almost, but you can see he's someplace else in the other one for the GoFundMe. So that's the different one there. I don't know. It's just interesting to me. But yeah, so that's what I wanted to show about that, and at least give a little more updated detail and to let y'all know he does have a GoFundMe, and just so you can see what the family is saying and what they are pleading. He should be in a medical unit based on what he just experienced. He was just in the hospital Friday where they took him from. So to deny him being on a medical unit is interesting to me. The only way I could see them doing that is if the hospital he was at last week discharged him and said, hey, here's the bill of health. We did what we could do for him right now. He received his blood transfusion. So that's all that we can offer. And he's done right now. And what they have to do is come back for further treatment if needed. You usually have your follow-up appointments with your doctor, like many other, situations that you're going through with health conditions. And that would be that. But we'll see what happens, because this will be interesting, because this is going to matter whether he's going to be transferred or not. Now, at the courts, which I'm going to show now, the courts just want him in court. They're like, hey, get your buns back in here and testify and tell us what we need to know. Because that's their main concern right now, is getting information out of little D, Quindarius Zachary. I turned the music down, so I'm going to turn it back up just a tad. So now I'm going to show some of the live current footage from the trial. First, they had an officer come get sworn in not that long ago. So I want to show some of that. And then we're going to catch up to speed and be in real time with the YSL trial. Anyone in the chat, let me know if you want to continue with that. I don't know if I might restart a whole nother live. I think I'm good though. Yeah, I think we're good. Wow, and Diddy Combs' mother, Janice Combs, she's 84 years old. I didn't realize she was that old. Yeah. Wow. So I know this has been wearing on her health. It has to be. I know it has to be. But hang on to it. Let me see something. 1 second. Because I do want to show some of what I was telling y'all when they said he will not live. Judge, the attorney basically is begging to not have little D, who was Quindarius Zachary, locked up. He has health conditions. This isn't going to work. He's basically like, hey, this young man is going to end up dying.
My ruling would be that's close enough in time to negate the likelihood of deliberate or conscious misrepresentation. So I'm going to permit that as a present sense impression exception to hearsay. Does anybody need to use the restroom before we have the jury back? All right, let's all take as quick of a break as we can, because we've already been out.
She was letting people know that they can go on break, and then his attorney came forth with his plea for his for a prosecution for the plea to not send Darius to jail. I'll play just a little bit because you could barely hear him. I'm surprised they didn't make him talk into the mic more.
All right, what's your name? Okay.
So this is when actually, no, this is the attorney for Little D. This is when he approached, the podium to ask to please let him out. Please, he has a health condition. He has sickle cell anemia. He just had an episode that hospitalized him. He may die in jail, prison. He may die in there. Please let him out.
Right. So the information I got this morning, and y'all, this was actually what I wanted to discuss on the record. Had we at the bench conference, had we gotten started at 8:45, like I asked for us to get started. So anyway, no, this has nothing to do with that. But the information that I got this morning from the sheriff's office was that he is in Grady.
Your Honor.
So I don't know how recent your information is.
I called the family 2 a.m.
Well, we've spoken with the sheriff has informed us since that time, and that was what I wanted to bring to the court's attention.
Okay.
I didn't know that.
Judge, and I think that this is a matter that I can speak with Mr. Shive about. I don't know if he wants to fully flesh it out now, but I did want to approach the court with the information and the defense with the information we had. There's more information than just that.
Okay, why don't we just
Okay, so as you seen right there, that was footage just from last week. And prosecution just trying to get stuff straight because they really want this witness. And that's them pleading like, hey, he's not going to survive. And they just spoke with the sheriff. They spoke with the hospital, all these things to try to figure out what would be the best route because they need him in the court. But in the meantime, what's the best route for this guy? Because you need him alive. If you do die, he definitely can't testify, So it's more to this case that keeps occurring, than we may realize. I didn't spell participation right. There we go. All right, let me put my little thing up there. Again, anyone that's new, hi, I'm Kiy NY007 and welcome to my channel. Feel free to chat. Your participation is needed. Like I mentioned too, sometimes the like button works, sometimes it doesn't. There's something freaky and funky going on with YouTube.com, and they haven't been saying a word about it, but we can see it. We can almost smell it. Feel free to chat. All open-minded people are welcome here, and I want us to come together so we can solve some problems here on this channel. I talk about astrology and some astronomy here. I talk about the community of melanated people the most. I also talk about spirituality, that energy, that thing that keeps us going. And also things to do with intimacy. So things that have things to do with sexuality and nature. Welcome. All right. Let's go to, here we go. Well, I was there. What just happened? En español, ay, Dios mío. All right, here we go. Young Thug stay flicking his hair back. He be cracking me up. Like, what is going on? Oh my gosh. Stop. Not what I was doing, so just freaking stop it. All right. I want to share this tab. Oh, I know what I'm doing now. Here we go. Let's go into the courtroom. I'm just going back a bit so that we can play a little bit of catch up. There is certain, and catch up is one of my favorite condiments. Yes, certain catch up. We'll go to that right now. We don't see Thug much. See, he always flicking his hair. I freeze framed it before too in one of my shorts, if y'all saw it. Right now it's just quiet. I'm just showing some images of him.
All right,
The main
State, you
man.
may call your next witness.
State calls the detective. Jim.
It's when they call the cop to the stand. I want to show a little bit of him, just a little bit of his testimony. Then I'm going to speed it up to real time. Y'all awful quiet. I know y'all got something to say about one of these cases. Diddy, YSL, Thugger, somebody. Sheesh. All right, let's see him get sworn in. He better not lie. No, I'm playing. We need the truth, y'all. We just want the truth. We deserve the truth. Little Woody ain't giving it up. I wonder where his bald headed self is at. Y'all want to know where Little Woody at? I heard he got a warrant out now. I don't know how true it is. Only until I see the receipt.
Detective J. Thorpe Jr., Thorpe.
I gotta be quiet.
Jim.
Good morning, Detective Thorpe.
Good morning, ma'am.
How are you?
Fine.
Good. Detective Thorpe, would you please introduce yourself to the jury by telling them where it is you currently work?
Yes, ma'am. Detective Jim Thorpe Jr., City of Atlanta.
Hang on just a second. You're gonna have to use the mic, Miss Love. Can you hear the witness?
Mic check 1 2 1 2. Please consider subscribing. If I don't grab you on this stream, consider coming back because I will grab you in. Hit the like button. Sometimes it works. It helps if you at least try. Give it a shot. Give me a shot too. I will definitely have something on my channel for you and then some. They've been having issues with the sound during the trial off and on last week. Someone was supposed to come in yesterday and fix the audio. So they're still having issues with that. So I just want to chime in. I do pay attention to everything. So they still have some mic issues, but I just want y'all to at least see who gets sworn in, some of what they're saying, and then we'll move on. Thank you. Come on, y'all. Chat it up in the chat. I want to see y'all thoughts.
All right.
All right, if everyone can hear me and can stand the static, I'm going to use this
Thank
one.
you.
Thank you. Would you go ahead? I apologize. Tell the jury where it is that you currently work.
Yes, ma'am. I currently work City of Atlanta Police Department Homicide Unit.
How long have you worked at the City of Atlanta Police Department in the homicide?
I work with the City of Atlanta now for 30 years and 9 months.
All right. Have you worked as a homicide detective the entire time?
Yes, ma'am. 20 years.
Now, 30 years and 9 months and 20 years are different. So what did you do when you first started working?
30 years. He's been on the force for
My first assignment.
They cannot hear you if you don't use the mic, and I'm sorry that it's staticky. Maybe one day we could get that fixed. Also.
I can hear him very well. I think the judge is
Just gonna
getting a
have to
little
ignore the
anxious.
static.
I can hear him. I know
Yes,
y'all can
John.
hear him, right?
Try to minimize it. What did you do when you first started working with the Atlanta Police Department?
Yes, ma'am. The first assignment was the Atlanta Police Zone 3 Precinct Evening Watch Mobile Patrol.
That would have been in what year that you started that?
I started Mobile Patrol in 95.
What types of activities did you conduct as a Zone 3 Evening Watch Mobile Patrol officer?
Answering 911 calls, dealing with all types of calls of accidents, suspicious persons, shootings, robberies, burglaries, car thefts.
Okay. There we go.
Yes, ma'am.
And tell the jury what parts of Zone 3 you patrolled as a patrolman in Zone 3 Evening Watch.
Then the beat I was assigned was called 304, and that beat was mostly around Metropolitan Parkway, Sylvan Road, leading up to Cleveland Avenue.
Thanks for asking too. You asked what trial this is. This is the YSL trial. What I will be doing is always putting a banner up so you know what subject we're on at that time. So thanks for mentioning that. So I got my banner up there now. Appreciate y'all coming through. Consider subscribing. I'm gonna have something for y'all here. I know the trial is popping, but I always have some decent content to move you. This isn't really even much to me, but a lot of y'all been coming in, so I appreciate it. Please consider subscribing and hitting the like button. Sometimes the like button works. I'm Kiy NY007, and I invite your thoughts, so go ahead and feel free to share them. Okay, thank you. Just try to keep it respectful. I really appreciate it.
Lakewood Avenue.
How much of Cleveland Avenue did you patrol?
It would depend on if we were short an officer, they would reposition my team. It was 2 officers assigned to the beat 3 or 4. So either one of us could get pulled, and usually around Cleveland Avenue, that was the 308 beat. And we pretty much control all of Cleveland, 75, 85, north and south, Jonesboro Road, and all the streets surrounding Old Hayville and streets like that.
Okay. As a homicide detective, are you restricted to one zone only, or do you work the entire city of Atlanta?
We work the entire city of Atlanta.
Are you familiar with the neighborhood surrounding Cleveland Avenue and including Cleveland Avenue today?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell the jury whether it's different, the same, or in some ways both to 95 as between today and then?
Sustained.
All right. How do you describe the neighborhood of Cleveland Avenue back in 1995? How would you describe it in terms of the community?
Community, like a better terminology, wasn't aggressive. That part of the Cleveland Avenue really was not a high crime area or gang activity respondent back in 95 to 97.
And that was the length of time that you worked evening patrol, 95 to 97?
Yes, ma'am.
And typically, what types of crimes did you have the most opportunity to respond to in that area?
Objection, Your Honor. Relevance.
Overruled.
Mostly shootings, like I said, robberies, burglaries, things of that nature.
Would you describe for the jury your, you mentioned there was not a lot of particular kind of activity. Did that change? Has that changed today?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there a particular kind of crime that you see more of today that you did not see back in 95?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you tell the jury what types those are?
Mostly gang activity shootings, related shootings.
Now, after you left Evening Watch Patrol of Zone 3, what station did you take up at APD?
Yes, ma'am. I was transferred to the Red Dog Unit, Evening Watch and Day Watch.
How long did you work the Red Dog Unit?
About 3 to 4 years.
Now, after the Red Dog Unit, what was your assignment?
I was promoted from the Red Dog Unit to a detective, and my first assignment was the burglary unit.
And what year was that?
2000. No, 2000, yes, ma'am.
Prior to joining the Atlanta Police Department, would you tell the jury what your education was?
Yes, ma'am. Graduate of high school on time, associate's degree, and at that time I went into the military, U.S. Army.
How long did you serve in the Army?
Roughly about 6 years.
And what was your station? What was your job in the Army? Without getting into too much detail, just generally speaking.
Soldier.
Okay. Are you originally from Atlanta?
No, ma'am.
Did you come to Atlanta after you left the Army?
No, ma'am. I was here.
Okay. After you joined the burglary unit, tell the jury what your responsibilities included.
Investigating burglaries, whether it was commercial or residential burglaries.
Was there a particular area of Atlanta you were responsible for?
Yes, ma'am. My primary zone was the Zone 1, and my secondary was Zone 3.
What area of Zone 1 were you responsible for? I'm sorry about that static.
That's fine. We believe.
Speaking of static, I'm about to have some static with y'all. I need to hit the like button.
Donnelly, Hollowell, Hollywood Road.
It could help y'all. Come on.
everything
Thank
over
you.
In that generally Perry Boulevard.
It's 100 of y'all up in here. I appreciate y'all. subscribe, hit like, let me prove myself to you. I have all kind of content here. They were supposed to have this audio fix yesterday, so we're back with the audio getting worse off and on, okay? But I'm gonna be quiet. I don't talk too much.
Sorry about that. And how long did you serve in the burglary unit?
2 years.
After the burglary unit, what did you do?
I was transferred to the robbery unit.
Ooh, I see hearts. Thank
Is that me,
you.
Judge, or
I
is
need
I have
that.
no idea.
All right, after the, what was your position with the robbery unit?
Detective, and my primary zone was zone 3. The secondary zone was zone 1.
Were you patrolling the same or responsible for the same area in the robbery unit as you had been when you were in a zone 3 evening watch patrol officer?
Yes, ma'am. So I had the whole entire zone.
Okay.
I mean, yes, the whole entire zone,
All right.
A sector and B sector.
Did you interact often with the residents of zone 3?
Yes.
During your time as a patrol officer and as a detective in the robbery unit?
Yes, ma'am.
Was your interaction only when you were arresting people or investigating suspects?
No, ma'am.
What other types of interactions did you have?
At that time, I was also working a part-time as an Atlanta Public School resource officer. And the school I was assigned was the Crawford Long Middle School, which is right off of Cleveland Avenue.
Would you tell the jury what years those were that you worked as a Crawford Long Middle School resource officer?
I would say it'd be from 2001 to 2012, 2013.
And what were your responsibilities as a resource officer with Crawford Long?
Primarily maintaining the safety and security of the school, walking around, patrolling the grounds, make sure the teachers' cars or anyone visiting school wasn't cars were getting broken in, things of that nature.
Did you have interaction with the students outside of investigating car break-ins and the like?
Yes, ma'am.
And would you describe for the jury what types of interactions that you'd have with the students at Crawford Long Middle School?
Oh.
Your Honor, as it pertains to particular people that are involved in this case, his knowledge of them and the jury's awareness
Why
of
don't
his
you focus
foundation.
his attention to that.
Did you interact with of course, indulgence? I'd just like to ask a broader question and narrow it down. I won't prolong that. Did you interact with the students and converse with them on a personal level?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you interact with the students' parents at times?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you interact with a student by the name of Quindarius Zachary?
Yes, ma'am.
Describe your, when you first met Quindarius Zachary, how old was he?
I say he had to be about 11 years old.
And in what capacity did you interact with him? Was it?
Usually times when he was misbehaving, and I would just take him to the side and talk to him rather than seeing him being suspended or suffering school punishment. I try to talk the kids to the side, get them out of trouble, and once again, put them back into the classroom.
What year was that you got to meet Quindarius Zachary?
Can I recall right offhand? Probably around 2010, maybe.
Did you establish any level of trust with the students? Would they come to you and talk with you about things that they were encountering?
Yes, ma'am.
As students?
Yes, ma'am.
And when you say you talked to them, did you talk with them only about scholastic things, or did you talk with them about things like getting involved with groups that they shouldn't get involved with?
Yes, ma'am. All of the above.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Back then in 2010, did you see any signs of what you believe to be the formation of gang activity within Crawford Long?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, what was it that you saw that led you to believe that?
The kids was constantly discussing the gang that was starting to sprout. They was calling themselves the Red Cartel.
No, I heard you, and it looks like Mr. Short's also about to say something.
Same objection.
thing. Overruled.
You may continue.
Yes, they would say something about a gang sprouting up called the Red Cartel.
You may continue.
Okay. They call themselves the Red Cartel, and they was coming very prominent over in the Cleveland, Springdale, Cleveland Avenue area, Old Hateville area, Macon Drive area.
Apart from hearing the name Red Cartel, did you see any indicators or signs of the ways that people calling themselves Red Cartel identify themselves?
They mostly wear the color red.
Did you ever see them, without specifically showing any gang signs, did you ever see them display any signals that were seemingly unique to members of the group itself?
No,
I'm going to object to this line of questioning. I don't believe that there's a proper foundation for this witness.
Your Honor,
Is this the first time this witness has testified?
yes.
Okay, you need to lay a foundation.
Okay.
Sustained.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. When you started out as a school resource officer at Crawford Long Middle School, would you describe for the jury what type of training that you had with the Atlanta Police Department?
Had basic academy training, along with interviews, interrogation training.
All right, so now they're going over his credentials.
Burglary and
We're going to
robbery.
skip past that.
Other than the name YSL,
Here
when
we
you
go.
were a school
The
resource
meat
officer,
of this.
did you have any other information or knowledge about YSL?
About the name YSL, had no other information other than their previous names.
What do you mean the previous names?
The name went from the Red Cartel to the Rock Crew, which stood for Raised on Cleveland.
Okay, so that's a new term. The Rock Crew, Raised on Cleveland. ROC, that's different than Rockefeller Records, right, in New York. All right, so that's interesting. And I like the questions. You're asking questions, you're giving me feedback, because I asked the question originally, it's in the chat. I asked, do you feel that either one of these cases is fair? We have Diddy Combs, who was arrested yesterday. I showed the paperwork. Everything I show, I will reiterate at times throughout the stream. Whatever the content is, I want to reiterate because new people come and go. And I also added at the end, because sometimes people catch it at the tail end. I want to show them that I have receipts. I want to show them other information that other people have not touched yet, like Quindarius, Little D, Zachary's GoFundMe, and what his family has to say about this. He's the witness that hasn't been back. He has sickle cell anemia, but they want him back on that stand or in jail. So right here we have the officer, one of the officers that worked on the case that YSL is all about, which stands for Young Sign Life. He just mentioned Rock, Raised on Cleveland. That's interesting too. You said that we have someone in the chat. They feel at this point they're milking Young Thug and trying to get as much money as possible, and they're still going to end up throwing a book at him. That's interesting. They might, because this costs money. Like, just imagine, it's already been 2 years in. He comes from humble beginnings and made a lot of, good money. And then for your money to have to go to your defense just so you can stay out and have your freedom. He hasn't been able to do any music since then and all that. Young Thug is actually one of my favorite rappers. I really enjoy his music. I like his beats, and I don't know, it's different. And it sucks because sometimes people have an extra gift inside them, whether it's through chanting, and that comes with spirituality and sharing energy. So it goes deeper than a lot of y'all probably think. Some of y'all just hear rap and like, oh, it's a rap song, I'll dance. But there's something more that some artists have and they carry, and it's like you can feel it. So I just wanted to just say that, and thank you for your participation. I'm not going to be asking y'all to hit the like.
Went over to YSL.
I don't know if y'all need hearing aids.
Is this information that you learned? How did you learn this information that you just talked about?
Talking to the kids and work in the neighborhood.
All right. Did you ever speak with grown-ups, the family, the parents of the kids about YSL or these other groups, Red Cartel or Rock Crew, without saying what they said?
Yes, I did.
All right.
Overruled.
Did you ever arrest anybody during that time just for being affiliated with Red Cartel, Rock Crew, or YSL?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Did you conduct any investigations that involved either of those groups even after you learned about their existence from the students, but before January 10th, 2015?
As in the YSL name itself or the previous names?
Either.
Yes.
All right. How many investigations?
Probably total myself, probably a total of maybe 4 or 5.
What type of what type of incidents? Forms his basis for his knowledge of
Yeah,
other,
but Ms. Love, we're
questions
past
that
that.
will be asked.
We're past that, sweetheart. And this is where the judges keep chiming in, like, we got to move this case along. She's starting to get repetitive with the questions. That's the only reason I had to start talking, because she keeps asking the same questions. Well, how long you been doing this? What is it exactly that you do? We get it. We need to know what this man knows that's going to inform us more on the case. So we're going to scoot past this a little more. Let's go. Respectfully, let's go. All right, Hilton. Other prosecutor, I like the dress. Go ahead, girl.
Did you ever arrest anybody during that time just for being affiliated with Red Cartel, Rock Crew, or YSL?
Anybody?
No, ma'am.
You didn't arrest nobody?
Did you conduct any investigations that involved either of those groups even after you learned about their existence from the students, but before January 10th, 2015?
As in the YSL name itself or the previous names?
Either.
Yes.
All right. How many investigations?
Probably total myself, probably a total of maybe 4 or 5.
What type of what type of incidents? Forms his basis for his knowledge of other.
I do kind of see why
questions
she
that he'll be
asked, but we already know why he does
What
what he
type of
does. So,
incidents were you investigating?
we're past that.
I want to say maybe 14.
Understood Mr. Copeland to have.
Of course, Mr. Copeland is young thug. Young Woody or weird self. I seen somebody talk about him in the chat. I know. I never seen a human canary like him. He sings so much. He told everybody. He kept coming to the station. So right now I'm showing a replay of what already occurred, because they are on break right now. So you're not missing anything at all. It's just at a standstill. They have to take their lunch. So they take lunch for maybe about an hour or longer. It depends on how long it takes everyone to get back in. So what I'm doing is just recapping what occurred earlier on, and some of it just shortly ago.
Having to park and walk all the way up, I just said, meet me here. I can get your brother in, get him upstairs and talk to him.
And did you get Mr. Copeland in and upstairs to talk to him?
Yes, I did.
Now, when you first saw Mr. Copeland, do you remember what his demeanor was like? Whether he was sad, happy, excitable, based on what you could observe and see? Or something wholly different?
It was something totally different. He was even killed, and he just kept asking, he don't know why people putting him in this.
Okay. Did you tell him that he had to come upstairs and talk with you?
Sorry.
No, I didn't tell him he had to come to.
All right, y'all. So this just in, we have someone that's taking the podium right now, and he's going to speak on the Sean Combs. So we're going to just jump right into that right now. All right. So we have Sean Diddy Combs, a little more information. So at least we have this. So we're going to get into this right now. Okay. Oh, man, I'm sweating like I got something to do with something. I ain't partied in a very long time. I don't party and then talk about everybody. I'm gonna have a good time at a party. I know full aware what I'm doing. If I'm gonna have sex or something, we're gonna get it in. I'm gonna get mad later. Women, we can have a double standard. If we like you, we like you. If we don't, we turn on you sometimes when it comes to intimacy. He says, sit down. He just told them women to sit their ass down. I'm exaggerating, but why he uses him like Kiy NY007? Consider subscribing, not just for live stuff. I have decent content for us to get together. Okay, I'm gonna be quiet now. I got yelled at last time. I'm like, you're on break. I'm giving a commentary. Yeah, let's go. Because we're not allowed in the courtroom, y'all. So this is as close as it gets. So we'll see some pictures of the evidence they have, and the man here is going to be speaking in a moment. Get it together. Let me do my promo. This is Kiy NY007. Please consider subscribing. I appreciate everyone that already subscribed, and I appreciate you for hitting the like button because you didn't have to, but it really helps. So that's all I can say. Thank you. All right, here we go. So they're going to show us the, what is it, exhibits for what they have as far as the evidence. Now, when they said no cameras, who are these people that's jumping up there with phones and stuff? See, that's some bull. Okay, so it's not allowed in the courtroom, but this is the actual conference. So I guess the rules are slightly different, y'all. I was about to say this is contradicting what they said to us. Oh, let me get the YSL house out the way that got shot up. Okay, good. They're zooming in for us. So basically, they're just showing. All right, we see guns. A lot of people have guns. All right, big bullets. This has nothing to do with the case and with certain sexual allegations, y'all. I have to say that this don't have nothing to do with it. Now there could be illegal guns and stuff like that. That'll be something new to add because I didn't hear about that in the case till real time with y'all right now. Hang on. All right, good timing. Let's go. It's all new information. Yikes. Wait. What? What? They really called it freak off? Wow. But so what when it comes to baby oil? Baby oil is the ish. It's the drugs that the force in it. That's all I hear about. That was a good question, though. Back years. Mhm. Some of that is legal, though. Some of it isn't when it comes to sexual, sexuality as your profession, as your employment. They only care because it's Diddy. They don't be caring about this type of stuff like this. Get it out. It's his hometown. No, they didn't bring up R. Kelly. You heard that? My apologies. Nobody was saying a word this whole time. Y'all should have been able to hear everything. So, let's try to get it back on.
Leave it at that. Are some of the prosecutors on this case some of the same prosecutors that had been handling that or that worked on the Maxwell case?
So I'm not going to get into the staffing. I will say that this team, this group of AUSAs, this incredible group has been working on this case around the clock, and they've had their hands full. Next question.
Gus Rosendale, NBC News. Good morning, sir. Combs' attorney said that his client has been cooperative with investigators. He said that this morning. I was wondering if you would have a reaction to that.
Let me just say this. I think that generally and with increasing frequency, the word cooperative or cooperating has taken on tremendous elasticity and no longer really bears any relation to what the word means when we use it in a very specific context. So responding to lawful process and the like does not qualify as cooperation when we use that term here.
Mike Sisak, AP.
Thanks. To that end, was there any discussion of Mr. Combs surrendering? I understand he was taken into custody at a hotel in Manhattan last night, and maybe that wasn't the plan. Can you elaborate on how that came about and why that was?
I'm not going to be able to get into any sort of operational details as to how he was taken into custody and when. He is in custody right now. He will be appearing in court later today.
Was there any discussion of him surrendering, given they claim he's cooperating?
I'm not going to be able to get into law enforcement tactics or operations.
If you need a big deal with the gun, how come they're not charged outright for obliterating?
All right, y'all. So my apologies, and that's why it really helps too for someone to just, all you got to do is say, "Hey, can't hear it." I don't ask much of y'all. I don't really ask for anything, but I do the work. I invest in myself. If y'all want to patronize, the information is there. If you want to subscribe or hit the like button, that definitely helps a lot. And yeah, that's all I really have to say. So let's get back into it. This is a close-up of the images of what they did collect. The man's gonna speak. I want to make sure y'all can we can hear. Man, people really just came and just not saying nothing. 50 to 100 of y'all. That's interesting. Bad enough y'all hate to hit the like button. I'm funny with the like button sometimes too, but not like y'all. Man. Let's go. Just had to go back just a little.
Morning, everyone. My name is Damian Williams, and I'm the U.S. Attorney here in the Southern District of New York. Today, I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution. The indictment alleges that between at least 2008 and the present, Combs abused, threatened, and coerced victims to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct. As alleged in the indictment, to carry out this conduct, Sean Combs led and participated in a racketeering conspiracy. that used the business empire he controlled to carry out criminal activity, including sex trafficking,
everything.
forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and the obstruction of justice. Let me say a little bit more about the charges. The indictment alleges that Combs abused and exploited women and other people for years and in a variety of ways. As alleged, Combs used force, threats of force, and coercion to cause victims to engage in extended sexual performances with male commercial sex workers, some of whom he transported or caused to be transported over state lines. Combs allegedly planned and controlled the sex performances, which he called freak-offs, and he often electronically recorded them. The freak-offs sometimes lasted days at a time, involved multiple commercial sex workers, and often involved a variety of narcotics, such as ketamine, ecstasy, and GHB, which Combs distributed to the victims to keep them obedient and compliant. As alleged, when Combs didn't get his way, he was violent, and he subjected victims to physical, emotional, and verbal abuse so that they would participate in the freak-offs, and that Combs hit, kicked, threw objects at, and dragged victims, at times by their hair. On one occasion in March of 2016, that conduct was captured on video and later reported in the media. Specifically, Combs kicked, dragged, and threw a vase at a victim in a Los Angeles hotel when the victim was attempting to flee. As alleged, these assaults often resulted in injuries to the victims, which took days or weeks to heal. In addition to the violence, the indictment alleges that Combs threatened and coerced victims to get them to participate in the freak-offs. He used the embarrassing and sensitive recordings he made of the freak-offs as collateral against the victims. And the indictment alleges that he maintained control over the victims in several ways, including by giving them drugs, by giving and threatening to take away financial support or housing, by promising them career opportunities, by monitoring their whereabouts, and even by dictating their physical appearance. Because of all of this, the indictment alleges that the victims did not believe they could refuse Combs without risking their security or facing more abuse. The indictment also alleges other acts of violence undertaken by Combs and others, including violence against witnesses to his abuse, kidnapping, and arson. The indictment alleges that on more than one occasion, Combs carried or brandished firearms to intimidate and threaten victims and witnesses. Now, Combs did not do this all on his own. As I mentioned, Combs has been charged with RICO conspiracy. He used his business and employees of that business and other close associates to get his way. Those individuals allegedly included high-ranking supervisors in the business, personal assistants, security staff, and household staff. The indictment alleges that those individuals facilitated the freak-offs. They booked the hotel rooms and stocked them with the supplies, including drugs, baby oil, personal lubricant, extra linens, and lighting. When the hotel rooms got damaged,
Baby oil.
they helped clean it up. They arranged for victims and commercial sex workers to travel for the freak-offs, and they delivered large quantities of cash to Combs to pay for the commercial sex workers. The indictment also alleges that they helped Combs cover up his crimes. During the March 2016 incident at the LA hotel that I mentioned earlier, a member of the hotel security staff intervened, and Combs attempted to bribe the staff member with a stack of cash to make sure that what happened was kept quiet. And as the indictment alleges, in late 2023, after public allegations were made about Combs's crimes, he and others pressured witnesses and victims to stay silent, including by making phone calls to witnesses and victims and giving them a false narrative of what they had experienced. And as alleged, Combs used others to help conceal his abuse by monitoring and preventing victims from leaving a location in order to hide their injuries, or by locating and contacting a victim who had attempted to flee. As part of this investigation, in March of this year, special agents from HSI executed search warrants at Combs's residences in Miami and Los Angeles. They also executed a warrant for Combs's electronic devices. During those searches, agents seized evidence of the crimes charged in this indictment. They seized firearms and ammunition, including 3 defaced AR-15s and a large capacity drum magazine. They also seized evidence of the freak-offs, electronic devices that contain images and videos of the freak-offs with multiple victims. And they seized cases and cases of the kinds of personal lubricant and baby oil that Combs' staff allegedly used to stock hotel rooms for the freak-offs, more than 1,000 bottles altogether. Here are some of the items that we recovered during the searches. As you can see here, this is a drum magazine, large capacity, and it contains, I believe, 59 rounds. I mentioned as well that we recovered 3 AR-15s. This is a close-up shot of one of the AR-15s, and you can see right here, the serial number has been thoroughly defaced. Another picture of more ammunition and parts of 2 AR-15s right there. Now, I want to be clear about 2 things. First, this office is determined to investigate and prosecute anyone who engages in sex trafficking, no matter how powerful or wealthy or famous you may be. No one should doubt our commitment on that. A year ago, Sean Combs stood in Times Square and was handed a key to New York City. Today, he's been indicted and will face justice in the Southern District of New York. Second, we are not done. This investigation is ongoing, and I encourage anyone with information about this case to come forward and to do it quickly. Anyone with information can call 1-877-4HSI-TIP. I want to express my deep appreciation for the victims and witnesses who have used their voices and helped bring this criminal conduct to light. We would not be here without them. I also want to thank the dedicated case agents on the HSI Trafficking in Person Squad in New York. They have been with us since day one and have worked tirelessly on this investigation. They will continue to be invaluable partners to us. I also want to thank the incredible agents and analysts from SCNY who have also provided tremendous assistance on this case. I'm deeply grateful for their continued work. And finally, I want to thank the outstanding career prosecutors from SCNY who are handling this case. Meredith Foster, Emily Johnson, Chrissy Slavic, Madison Smeisler, and Mitzi Steiner, and their supervisors, Jamie Backleiter and Jacqueline Kelly. They are members of the Civil Rights Unit in our criminal division. We created the Civil Rights Unit when I became U.S. Attorney. I'm deeply proud of their work on this and so many other cases. I'll now take some questions.
Eric Katursky, ABC.
Thanks, Damian, thanks. The indictment describes aggressive, open, violent, hedonistic abuse that you say was recurrent and widely known. Why did it take law enforcement so long to intervene? How many women were victimized by Sean Combs and how many others were involved?
Look, our investigation is ongoing. We are committed to bringing justice to everyone who's been victimized by the defendant. I can't tell you why it took so long. I think the better focus is on the fact that we are here today. And we are committed to making sure that justice is done. Next question.
Julia Ainsley, NBC.
Thank you for doing this. You said we are not done and that Combs did not do this alone. Do you foresee that there could be other charges related to this case?
I'm not taking anything off the table.
Janet Fisher, Newsday.
What's the difference between the sex trafficking and promoting travel for the purpose of prostitution?
Well, there are different crimes with different elements. I don't think we should get into the nitty gritty of the legal discussion right now, but
Nobody said no dinner.
The sex trafficking, we believe, they're all serious offenses, but the sex trafficking conduct carries some significant penalties, and we are gratified that we were able to bring that charge.
Is one more coercive than the other?
I'm not going to be able to get into that,
It
but
depends
you
because
can
some is
look
legal,
it up,
some is illegal.
and yes, sex trafficking, especially when it involves coercion or force,
Right, now that's different.
is a very serious crime. And it
But
carries
that's
significant
consensual. That's the difference.
Good afternoon, Darla Miles, ABC7 New York. Thank you for this press conference and for the details. 2 questions. In context of this indictment and the information that was presented to the grand jury, are you able to clarify the number of victims? It's mentioned plural in the indictment, but can you specify the number of victims just for this particular indictment? And secondly, can you provide details about the alleged arson?
Unfortunately, I'm not able to provide either. The number of victims, you are correct. We are intentional in saying multiple. The details of the arson incident are limited to what we have in the indictment and also the detention letter that we filed, which contains more details than the indictment does at various points. But we don't have anything more beyond that. Next question.
Lynn Tran, CNN.
Are any of his accomplices or associates under investigation? And additionally, could he face any more charges?
So the investigation is ongoing. That means both as to him and to anyone else who we believe committed the crime with him. Next question.
Julia Papa.
Hi, good morning from 1010 Wins. Any indication that some of the women or victims here were imprisoned in his residences, and did he have locations where he kept them and were not allowed to leave? And also, he's indicted here, although there were searches and raids in LA, Miami. Why in New York?
Well, I'm biased. I'm the U.S. Attorney in the Southern District of New York. I think that we have an outstanding track record of bringing some of the most impactful, sprawling, complex, difficult sex trafficking, human trafficking, labor trafficking, you name it. The Southern District of New York can do it, and so we're very proud of that. And so the scope and complexity of this investigation isn't something that we ran from. It's something that we embrace, and we will continue to do that. As to your question about whether he imprisoned anyone, all I can say is that, I mentioned this March 2016 incident where something was caught on video, where a victim was attempting to flee, and there was violence that was associated with it. That was at a hotel.
Matthew Lee, Inner City Press.
Thanks a lot. Does your office intend to seek remand, or are you reaching a bail package? And if you're willing, how would you contrast this with the R. Kelly case in EDNY in terms of the elements? Thanks.
So we will be seeking detention. We have filed a letter laying out our reasoning for seeking pretrial detention. I'm not going to be able to expand beyond what's in the letter, but it contains all of the reasoning, and it contains the law as well. There is a presumption of detention in a case like this, and we think that's warranted.
John Anise, New York Daily News.
Thank you. I was hoping to get some more detail about the searches of his residence, the guns, the cases of lubricant, and the videos. Where were they found amongst his residence? Were they all scattered around the houses in one place? I kind of wanted to just get a better picture of how that stuff was found.
Well, look, I think that some of the details that you're seeking are in the detention letter. So, for instance, some of the AR-15s, 2 of the 3 defaced AR-15s were found in his bedroom closet in Miami, broken down into parts along with magazines with ammunition loaded in them. So some of that detail is in the detention letter. Beyond that, I'm not going to be able to get into where other items were stored.
Ben Kochman, Post.
Hey, thanks for doing this. Your office was the office that had been prosecuting Jeffrey Epstein before he died in custody. I have not read your detention memo yet. It's the first thing I'm going to do after this ends. But does the memo address, or is your office concerned with Combs's safety in custody, given what happened with Epstein?
So we are concerned with anyone's safety whenever they are detained prior to trial. It's part of our obligations to keep people safe as well. It's part of the criminal justice system. So, but I do not draw any sort of connection between Jeffrey Epstein's suicide and what may or may not happen to any other defendant while they are detained pre-trial. And of course, the decision whether to detain the defendant will be up to a judge. Our position is that pretrial detention is warranted under the law and based on the facts of this case. And I'll leave it at that.
Are some of the prosecutors on this case some of the same prosecutors that had been handling that or that worked on the Maxwell case?
So I'm not going to get into the staffing. I will say that this team, this group of AUSAs, this incredible group has been working on this case around the clock, and they've had their hands full. Next question.
Gus Rosendale, NBC News.
Good morning, sir. Combs' attorney said that his client has been cooperative with investigators. He said that this morning. I was wondering if you would have a reaction to that.
Let me just say this. I think that generally and with increasing frequency, the word cooperative or cooperating has taken on tremendous elasticity and no longer really bears any relation to what the word means when we use it in a very specific context. So responding to lawful process and the like does not qualify as cooperation when we use that term here.
Mike Sisak, AP.
Thanks. To that end, was there any discussion of Mr. Combs surrendering? I understand he was taken into custody at a hotel in Manhattan last night, and maybe that wasn't the plan. Can you elaborate on how that came about and why that was?
I'm not going to be able to get into any sort of operational details as to how he was taken into custody and when. He is in custody right now. He will be appearing in court later today.
Was there any discussion of him surrendering, given they claim he's cooperating?
I'm not going to be able to get into law enforcement tactics or operations. Well, I can't get into the charging decision. It is very meaningful to us that weapons were possessed, as we allege in the indictment. Part of the reason why this conduct was so pervasive and harmful was because victims and others didn't necessarily feel comfortable denying him his wishes, as we allege, because of the presence of firearms. I should leave it there.
Thanks. Last question, Jacob Shamison.
Jacob Shamsian, Business Insider. Thank you. Given that he's the sole defendant in this case and that you allege he's part of a conspiracy that involves members of his companies, do you anticipate a superseding indictment that bring allegations against other members of his companies or other co-conspirators as well?
I can't take anything off the table. Anything is possible. Our investigation is very active and ongoing. And I think a lot of you who cover this office know that when we say such things, that developments are certainly foreseeable, but I cannot predict them sitting here today. All right, thank you, everyone.
What part of his business empire is exposed?
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
All right, so you just heard from the U.S. Attorney. What's his name? Brett Williams. So we got that. So any thoughts on that? And I'll just review some things we already went over. I'll show y'all the paperwork that it wasn't a whole lot, but I paid for it. It just doesn't show you, without proper access. I'm going to show that too. Any thoughts y'all have, feel free to share them in the chat. Now, this is a deep case, but yes, race is always a factor. So yeah, I brought that up. I don't know. I just feel like people just wanted him to go down, even if he never did this. Or maybe some of y'all had intuition that just Diddy is not that, that guy like that, let's have fun. We're going to have a party. We're making money. Maybe y'all knew early on. Did y'all have feelings that something wasn't right? It never was right. I don't know. Be interested to know some of your thoughts on this. I definitely don't and can't just go by what I hear. I like to have proof. Everyone is innocent until proven guilty. That's supposedly the due process at least in America, right? So that's what we have for that right now. And I'm going to show some of the paperwork. Give me a moment. So as you see here too from my thumbnail, I have Sean on one side, and then I have someone that they call well, Sean Puffy Combs, Diddy, whatever you call him. And then we have Quindarius Zachary, also known as Little D, from YSL. He was arrested last Friday. Diddy was arrested yesterday. So I did a double stream because I felt the need to talk about both and just catch ourselves up to speed and share some information. So I appreciate the participation that I did get. So I appreciate that. Even got some subscribers while I was on here. Appreciate that too. Let's go ahead and show this real quick. All right, one last time. Even though these pages are blank, they do have a little information. So it's still exclusive content to an extent, okay? As you see the date here, this is from September 16th, 2024. That was just yesterday. This is from the United States District Court of Southern District of New York. Now that's the person, the man that you just saw speak. He is the United States, what did he say he was? He's the, whatever he is. I got too many terms floating all over the place. So he's speaking on behalf of the United States District Court of Southern District of New York. Right here we have plaintiff Dawn Angelique Richard. This is the latest case that's been filed against Sean Combs. You see his name here as a defendant. His attorney is Harve Pierre. Dawn is being represented by Lisa Bloom. Lisa Bloom has been known to prosecute for like people like Black China and some other women. You know, it's kind of crazy, kind of weird to me too, because the type of women they are in the profession they're in. It was just interesting that someone's like, oh yeah, I'm sure that happened. People are taking on these cases for publicity to gain a name for themselves. We would not know of no Lisa Bloom. Even if her mother is an author, we didn't know you. So they take on certain cases and they become relevant. That's what it's about. So you see here, within 21 days after service is summons you on, not counting day you received it, or 60 days, are the United States agency or an officer, employee, blah, blah, blah. You must serve the plaintiff on an answer to the attached complaint or a motion under Rule 12 of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure. Diddy has not responded to any of this. Diddy's attorney, Harve Pierre, is saying that they did not receive any of this. So they're saying this is nonsense. This needs to stop. They are not properly serving. You have to make sure the person gets the documents. You have to at least make sure the address is correct where they're at and all that stuff. We know Diddy has many properties. So now it's like sort of the cat and mouse thing with, well, was he served or not? That's going to make a difference too, especially in the case that Derek, what's his name again? Derek Cardello Smith, right? He's the one that came as an accuser of the gay booty bandit stuff that's been going on. So this is him right here. For anyone that's not sure of him, he's the one that was just awarded $100 million by default, not because he won the case. He won, through a proceeding rather. He did an automatic win by default because he's in prison right now for kidnapping and sexual assault and all that stuff. But because Diddy didn't respond, by default, he gets the $100 million. So as of next month, because right now, today is Tuesday, September 17th, 2024, and I hope y'all all having a good day today. As of right now, starting next month in October, Diddy has been summoned to pay this man $10 million a month until that $100 million is paid for. So that's how that's going. You have any thoughts on that? Do you feel like if someone else's hands are dirty, they don't even get a day in court? How do you feel about the man charging Diddy? He's in prison right now, Cardello Smith, for the same thing he's accusing Diddy of. He's not waiting for court. He's been charged and convicted multiple times. I showed his rap sheet too. But what we'll do is go back into Diddy's right now, right? And then I'll show y'all Cardello Smith. This is proof of service. This is a sheet that needs to be filled out by the person that's sending the summons. And they want to know who sent the summons. And the server signature there, an address. There's 2 more pages. This is the 3rd page, dated of yesterday, September 16, 2024. There's a Harve Pierre. And then this is the writer to summons. So these are the defendants. The defendants' businesses and such. So these are the names. Some we all are already familiar with, like Bad Boy, of course, Entertainment Bad Boy Records, LLC, and so on. Some names we haven't seen before, but they are here, and these are the addresses. All right. This is the last page right here. This is page 4. This is the rest of the companies and businesses that are affiliated with Sean Combs. I even mentioned his mom is in here, Janice Combs Publishing. And check that out, Albany. That's the capital of New York. His mom is 84 years old, and just in July, towards the end of July, so it's only been maybe a month, almost 2 months, she was just hospitalized. And a lot of us think that is due to stress because there's so much going on with the case. There's been a lot, so you can imagine how that feels on a parent, as long as she didn't, teach him certain ways or, whatnot, then, she has nothing to do with it, because we do look at how someone was raised. But when it comes to coming from a background where, not a whole lot of money was there, and then obtaining money, that could change anyone. Money and power changes people, even in the public place. Place of work. Your supervisor may get different because they became supervisor. Your coworker becomes different when they get promoted. So I'm not going to sit here and say it's because he had money, he's a devil, he's all this and that. I don't feel that way. A lot of y'all change when you come into money. A lot of y'all change your ways. It's just how far are you going to take the control? A lot of men sit in high positions and they have their way with us if we let them. And that's the difference. There's consensual party going and drinking and drugging. Then there's some that aren't consensual. When it's not consensual, it's absolutely out of the question, right? We know that. But I know that by the hundreds to the thousands, we've seen photos. I have video of old footage, which I'll show the next stream I do. If y'all want to do, I'll do that. Where, everyone's having a good time. There's no weirdness going on or nothing, so I just don't want people that know they had a good time to come back around like, no, I didn't have a good time. I didn't even want that to happen to me. We got men that know they're gay. No, he was coming down to me. I didn't even know. It's like, dude, live your truth. Don't come out here lying to the public about it. We saw what he did to Cassie. That was recorded. But we want to know more about other things that are going on. So, but with the truth, we deserve the truth. And the people that are being accused, they deserve the truth. Whoever really endured abuse from Diddy deserves the truth. They deserve justice to come out. Well, they are the truth if they tell the truth, right? But, everyone is allowed their day in court, and they're innocent until proven guilty. So I want to show that. Now, I'm going to go back out for a moment and show something else to show ya. All right. So we just finished up with man here. So he represents, after speaking with the FBI and all this stuff, he represents the United States Judicial Southern part of New York. And give me a quick second while I pull up Derek's complaint against Diddy. So just give me a quick second here. Where did it go? Oh, I shouldn't have clicked stop sharing. I thought I was wondering why I said that. Oh, no, I want to go back out. All right. Well, as a reference, we'll go ahead and just check out something too. Y'all may know of Kiy D. He's been making his headways back again. He's the one that has something to do with knowing the information on Tupac getting killed over on the West Coast, right? So his name has come up too. If you could see, I know it's small print. I'm going to remove myself from the screen. I don't think you can hear me. Then we'll see. I'm going to scroll down so it can make it a little bit of a larger font, because some information is hidden unless you have extra access. So as y'all can see, those are the other motions that have been pushed. And this is all just this month. This is all just in September. So Diddy was given a date. The date was yesterday. They said you have to respond by Monday, September 16th of 2024. And he didn't. And his attorney's like, no, we didn't know, wait, what's going on here? So we'll find out if they really had a right to go and just actually take and arrest him. People are drawing their own conclusions like, oh, he must have been running. He must have been, they got him, they have to prove that he was even summoned for that to stick. So that's what that's about right there. So just hang on a second. Where are we at? Okay, we'll just share this tab while I'm talking at least instead. Okay. Derek Lee Cardello Smith. He's the other complainant. Like I said, he's the one that just won. And that's not over either because Diddy is hang on a second, y'all. Diddy's attorney is fighting that case also because he feels that that wasn't right what they did, and then he automatically owes the $100 million. So they are also actively pursuing that, and then to turn around and get arrested yesterday. This is big. This is a lot. All right, so I'm seeing this in real time, just like y'all. As you can see, it says September 17th, 2024. No, sorry, forget that. See, when you put someone's name, it's supposed to show everything. It's not showing everything yet. All right, my bad, y'all. I thought they updated his, but they didn't yet. Will you just put the name of the person I'm asking for? That's weird. No. What's wrong with you? All right. Cardello Smith. He is a man that did work with Diddy before. He claims Diddy came and visited him about a month ago and told him, like, let me just give you some money to make this case go away. They're saying that Diddy did sign in the book and visited him while he's in prison. He's in prison for kidnapping and raping and sexual assault. But I'm wondering too, did Diddy really go and visit this man? Like, did this really happen, or not? Because I feel like there's information that's just not verified, and because of social media, we're able to take it and just like run with it. But we need the truth. We deserve that. So this is Derek Lee Cardello Smith. He's had many cases. There's a lot of cases he's just been working on, and it's all to get money while he's locked up. Every last one of them is for the money. Other than the fact of the reason why he's in there is because he has assault cases that were pinned against him. This is one person. Scratch this. It says Derek T. Lee. All of these are Derek's, all of these. And then now, and he's in California, that's where he's locked up at too. So also, if you know what state someone's in, you can narrow in even better with making sure that this is the person you're looking for, because some people play around with their names. Like he's Derek Lee Cardello. He plays around and takes off two last names that he'll leave just hit first and middle and say that's his last name. Sometimes he drops off Cardello and leaves Smith. You can blend in a lot more with cases if people aren't sure which one you are because you're using a very common last name like Smith. So these are the games that people play when they're, trying not to really be tracked with what they are doing, which part of it, to me, in my opinion, is abuse of the court system. Our tax dollars, I know you may not be in Cali or whatever, but it's still someone's tax dollars, right, are going to the time and effort put into the judicial system. And in a lot of ways, it can be abused and taken for granted. So I wanted to show that. I'm going to go back into the other one. So we just got finished listening to him. If you want to catch that, you can go check it out on News 18 or feel free to replay the live stream that I just did because we played it in full. Part of it, you couldn't even hear him. Nobody was saying nothing. And I thought I was good. So from now on, I'll always check. I appreciate those that do speak up and say we can't hear or yes, we can hear. That always helps. You guys are all new people coming in here. I have a decent channel here too. I do things to do with astronomy and how it ties in with astrology and how it can possibly help solve our problems that we may have. I also talk about things to do with the community of melanated people, particularly Africa being a motherland where we all come from. All right. And things to do with spirituality and your energy. It's not about religion. It's about us and our insides and what we feel on the inside and how we can tap into things to elevate ourselves and one another. I also talk about things that have to do with sexuality. Some things are to do with intimacy and some a little bit like relationship type of stuff. I don't get into that too much, but more of like intimacy and factors of, things of importance that have to do with intimacy. So that's what that is about. The other thing that I already showed y'all is the case that's going on right now with YSL. We have, so they were at break last time we checked, and we were seeing them interviewing one of the, we've seen them interviewing one of the officers from the case, which is YSL. Y'all probably very familiar by now. Has to do with Young Thug. He is a rapper. He's been locked up for a couple of years now. And that's what we have for that, which I've shown you guys. So they are still on break. And I put a question in the chat. Some of y'all did answer it, and I appreciate it. Some things on, do you feel that either of these trials is fair? Do you look at them both the same? Do you feel like, hey, just lock them up? Or do you feel like, well, let me really hear this out? They should be innocent until proven guilty. That's the way it's supposed to be. But most recent, like I had showed, and I'll show right now in my thumbnail, to the right is Quindarius Zachary. He's been missing since last week. He came and testified about one day. The judge was like, where is he? He needs to come back. He didn't want to come back. So what happened? He got arrested last Friday, which was September 13th. And he is locked up right now. But he was also in the hospital last Friday because he has sickle cell anemia. So he had to undergo a blood transfusion, and that is serious. So his attorney is saying, please get him out of jail. He's not going to survive in there. So we had that. And then also with yesterday, everyone's talking about it. Diddy just got arrested. So what I showed you is some information that I have some exclusive access to. It's a bit limited because they don't have as much going on, but at least we did hear from the U.S. attorney, whatever he is. We heard from him, and he gave us some more information. There was a lot of baby oil being discussed, extra sheets, stuff like that. Now, when it comes to the drugs, now that's important. Baby oil and all that, it's good to have baby oil. Come on now, let's stop playing. So, that's what it is, and that's where we're at with things now. And, yeah. And again, anyone new, please consider subscribing. My name is Kiy NY007. New York native, New York nerd in the house. So that's what we got. And as you can see too by the thumbnail, it's dated for yesterday. So it's very recent, and that's the case. The most recent one is Dawn against Diddy. So she's a former member of Danity Kane. I showed a lot of this information on in the beginning. Okay. So that was some exclusive and real-time information that we did receive together. And I appreciate y'all experiencing this with me. Yeah, so I have more content too. And what I'll do is add content in here and there when they take their breaks and stuff. We can talk about something else, or y'all could take a break. But I do have some things that I think are important and that affect all of us. So it's good to have a community where we can all discuss some things. Okay. Feel free to, I put donation information there too, through PayPal or through Cash App. Cash App is weird too lately, but I do invest. I invest in myself regardless. I don't really promote donating, but it's good to at least have it up sometimes because I do kick out. I spend money on things just to gain access. I spend money on things so I can have nice visuals for you guys. So I do apps, my equipment that I use for sound and visuals, the apps that I use as extra add-ons. Besides the time that I put in, I enjoy doing it. So it's not just about that, but I did receive a donation before, and it was a very decent one, and I just appreciate it. It could be a donation of any size. It's just, if you would like to do it, the information is there. If you choose to hit the like button, the button is there. I believe you just double tap the screen and it should do a thumbs up, which really helps. Because a lot of people come in and just listen. A lot of people swipe through, a lot of swipe or no swiping going on. Dora. And you know, it does help the channel when you participate. That's what you can do most, and it's very appreciated. I do everything myself. So yeah, so that's why sometimes like, hold on, I try to give you a visual while I'm working out technical stuff in the background. I use StreamYard. I pay for that monthly. I do premium. I pay for that monthly. I do a lot of things that just make things better and easier for me. And then I join more live streams in the past year. I've been putting out so that I can just make more connection with y'all. And you know, as I work to grow my channel. So y'all being here is very appreciative, and that'll always be the case. Okay. So yeah. And feel free. No one's gonna come and clip you. I just would rather people not curse, you know, in the chat, because algorithms look at that too. But you can speak your mind. There's not too many places you can just speak your mind. Hey, I can't stand him, or hey, I think he's all right. I think they're lying. Whatever it is. You know what I mean? Nobody needs to really put somebody down too much. Just what are you feeling, you know, so I can see. Because I do it, I've researched, you know, I don't see people too much. So it's good to see y'all coming through here. So I'm like, all right, here goes some humans, you know, and that's that. So again, my name is Kiy. My channel is Kiy NY007. And I appreciate y'all being here. Where we at? Yeah. And somebody came in last time and they was like, where are you from? And I'm thinking like, it's in my name. But some people just say Nye, but it's in my name, man. NY, New York. And my battery is going low too. So I was getting ready to shut it down anyway. I'll see what else you guys got going on in the chat. All right. Oh, what's going on? Recognize your name. They caught the predator. Yeah, it does seem like he's being known for it's like, say it ain't so. Man, because so many people wanted to party with Diddy, you know. So I just want to hear all the facts, because there's so many people that wanted to be around someone because they know they were getting money, they were getting recognized, you know. So to abuse that isn't good. But he, just because he's popular and popping and have all this money, he don't have the right to abuse people. And neither do y'all in the workplace. A lot of men prey on women in the workplace. Now there's more women preying too. And it's all about power and control. They get the power and the control from the workplace, but then they take it further. What can I do with you sexually? How can I have my way with you in other kind of ways? And this male on male stuff, that's a little more new to me, you know, so I'm just like, really? Wow. So we got that going on too, but some people will do anything for $1. And we know this is true. We know this is a fact. People will do anything to be in the presence of a celebrity. So keeping that in mind, the same people will do anything for the limelight now. The same people want money. It doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't. Cassie's timing doesn't make sense to me either. This should have been dealt with. She done got married, had a kid. She broke now. I look at the timing of it all, y'all. And I got to be honest. I'm not saying it's okay. Y'all got people in your family that put their hands on the lady they with right now, but they got past it. You can't continue to put your hands on each other. If something happens one time, that's an isolated event. Don't do it again. You know, a man has to realize, I can't put my hands on you, you know, and they need to apologize, and you can work through that. That doesn't mean that man's abusive. Now, if he keeps beating your ass, girl, that's different. I give big people the benefit of the doubt, and I just want to know the information. We deserve to know. If they're going to keep being flashy in our face, if they're going to keep saying, hey, buy tickets to this and that, if they're going to be like, hey, look at me, I got new music out, we deserve the truth, right? We all deserve the truth. So we're able to talk about our opinions and the facts and stuff here. So I appreciate y'all coming through, and I'm going to be wrapping stuff up. We'll say, do you actually think he's being prosecuted? All right, somebody said, what they say? It's not actually Diddy. There's a reason why it took them so long to do the arrest. Yeah, it's weird. Oh, it's his clone. With the amount of power he had, do you really think he's being persecuted? Mark my words. Oh, okay. So you think it's a clone? Okay. I try to be open-minded with stuff. Another rapper I like a lot too is Gucci Mane. I've always liked his music. They're saying he's a clone. I'm like, he ain't no clone. He just got a belly now, okay? But yeah, so we'll see what happens. And hey, baby oil. I remember Steve Harvey, before we go, had mentioned baby oil, man. That's one thing I love. I love me some baby oil. Man, you put that on your body. Man, when my wife put it on her body, baby oil does look good. I think anybody looks good with some oil on their body. You got a body, whether you big or small, rub some baby oil on yourself sometimes. Let your skin shine. Take a photo of your skin sometimes. I'm telling you, you won't regret it. I like baby oil. I'm an oil type of person. Melanated people tend to have drier skin and hair, than other races too. So I really hold my oils dear. I like rubbing it in. I make jokes about how oily I am and what I'll do while I'm oiled up. How bad I need to be oiled down. Yeah, where was Diddy at? Since he like baby oils, I'm like, too bad we ain't. Nah, you ain't gonna be beating me up, knocking my glasses around. No, my glasses are staying on. I had people tell me before, like, take your glasses off. Let me see you without them. It's like, oh, you got bedroom eyes, put them back on. I was like, what does that mean? But anyway, it was like, girl. But yeah, so that's that. And I'm just recapping right now. That's about it. So with the YSL trial, like I said too, I actually showed y'all the GoFundMe that's going on right now too. So this is the one that they were looking for, and they arrested his buns last Friday, right from the hospital. They say, yeah, we know you got sickle cell, but you're going to jail. Damn. That's what they said. That's what they said, y'all. So we're going to see what's going on with that too, because there's just a lot going on with both these cases. So I figured I'll just do a double, and I did an extended live. Usually I come on for maybe about an hour or just a little more. And I do Chocolate Sunday. You want to come through on Sundays particularly, and I do Wednesdays, and I call those Wet Wicked Wednesdays. So that's when we have a little more intimate feel, but just have some fun. Sometimes there's a little bit of freaky-ish topics. Speaking of Diddy, I can't believe they really called it a freak off, y'all. Y'all heard what he said in the thing. It was really a freak off. But there's that. The case with the YSLs will probably be picking back up shortly because they've been on break. And here and there, they be having really long breaks. So, we have that going on too. And we just appreciate the information. Like I said, there will be no cameras in this federal court case with Diddy. So we're going to be depending on what they tell us when they're ready to tell us. So that was good to have him come on out here to U.S. Who is he? That's Letitia James. But he's representing the United States Judicial Court of Southern New York. So he filled us in on the baby oil. Slap ass, Key and Peele. He used to be like slap ass. When he was acting like one of the Dominican baseball players smacking ass. Anyway, so we had that. And I showed y'all some exclusive, at least the best I could with what we actually do have, as far as the file name, the actual dockets right here and all that stuff. So, I do my thing. And with this, so we had the Sean Puffy conference, and we saw some of YSL, and the latest person that was took the stand today, which was an officer. All right, and anyone that does decide to donate, I will shout you out, whether it's during the time and I see it and know of it or not. When the time comes, and that's up to you. And if you don't want your name mentioned, you can just put anonymous, and that's fine. But I have plenty of content. This is easy work doing this type of research and stuff, because we're basically watching and commenting. There's content that I create on my own. There's content that I do go by history. I go by what we're going through now. And I also try to do some things to where we could foresee things that are to come in the future. I spoke on death most recently. I spoke about things that have to do with a lot of death that's coming and stuff like that. And then as y'all see, people have been dying. Rest in peace to Tito Jackson. Rest in peace to Rich Homie Quan. And then that got the courts popping even more too. So this is the thing with Lil D and all that. So, we've been experiencing a lot of different things going on. So just to be prepared for it. And I'll repeat and I'll always reiterate, protect your energy. Protect your energy, even in the midst of a death of a loved one. Protect your energy. Demons are coming. They are already been out. They've been roaming. The demon can be in your family member. The demon can be in anyone or anything that allows it. That's the whole thing. We have the power to not allow these demonic spirits and people to come into our lives. You're already going through something and you don't know why somebody keeps texting you the nonsense that they are texting you. You don't know why somebody keeps bothering you of all times or doing it now. Back them off from you. You protect yourself because they're coming. They are already here and they're coming, but they cannot have you. Why? Because it takes permission to. They need permission to. They need permission to. I don't give people permission. Welcome to Kiy NY007. You don't have permission to have control over my life. You're not getting it. No, you're not coming through a friend. Oh, you try to come through a family member? I've always been suspicious of that family member anyway. Oh, you're coming through this person. This person never does any wrong. Why would it be this person when the storm is already here? Y'all see that storm in my background? No, they do not have control over you. You say it and you live it. If you don't know how to tell people no, like me, I had to learn the word no. And then I always feel I have to explain myself to people that are putting me under pressure and shouldn't. I don't bother nobody. I pretty much stay to myself at that. So I know when someone's coming, they got to come correct or they come up with some nonsense. I don't allow that. I rebuke you. I rebuke you. That's what you do. I don't know whether you have a religion or not. If you're a person and you breathe and you have every power, it can grow. You got to let it grow too. You do that by meditating and you manifest. You do that by writing it down repeatedly at times. You do that by speaking it with that mighty powerful tongue that's in your mouth. You can cast curses. You can cast curses away though. How about that? So I had to leave you on that note to let y'all know and remind y'all of that. When we are the controller of our own destiny. I know I am. I'm the creator of my own destiny. How about you? As always, I thank y'all for coming through. This was a decent live stream. Just remember, hitting the like button. It works sometimes if it's working. I don't know, it helps. My name is Kiy. Here, I promote elevating people. I promote us talking about problems so that we can solve them. I'm not going to sit around and complain. I don't do that. I like to look for solutions, okay? So when you come through, I want you to feel different. I want you to feel inspired. I want you to get something different that you're not getting nowhere else because I know I got it here. I got it going on for you. Just give me a chance. All right? So again, this is Kiy NY007, and I thank y'all for your time. Peace.